and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Okay, hello, welcome. I'm not going to let the intro music go on forever and ever and ever because it goes on forever and ever and ever, and we're not here to run. There's no running this evening. You may be aware I am tapering for a half marathon at the weekend, so no running. But I thought it was an ample opportunity to have a chat to you about the Zwift Running League. Adam Holland, who is the manager of quite a few teams in the Zwift Running League. Oh, hang on a minute. Have I got no vocals? Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are there. I just need to be a bit louder. Do I need to be louder? I think we're all right. Okay. So Adam Holland contacted me and said he thinks a few people will be a bit confused about Friday's race because the Zwift Running League comes into effect on Friday for the second time. And so we have the relay race on Friday. And on Friday, it's going to be a little bit different to what it was last Friday. So last Friday was a 4.4 kilometre race. And everyone just ran individually. And you just ran 4.4 kilometres and that was it. And at the end of the day, your results were calculated and put online. This week, this Friday, it's going to be slightly different. Hello, Adam Findel. Ryan says, sounds good to me. Okay, good. Bear with me. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a little look at the results from last week. and also what's going to happen this week, and then any other chat. It's not going to be long. We're not going to be here for an hour. We're not even going to be here for half an hour probably. But it's just to fill you in on exactly what's going to happen on Friday, and just to let you know where we stand currently with the Zwift Running League, which literally has just one race down now. So let's have a look first off at the WTRL website. So WTRL are the organisers of the Zwift Running League. They've organised the Zwift Racing League for cycling, the Duathlon League. So they're pretty experienced knowing what they're doing with this kind of stuff. So they've organised the Zwift Running League in conjunction with Zwift. And so all the results and all the signing up process, the registration, everything goes through this website that you can see here. So this is the WTRL website. Let me just turn off my playlist, so not music playlist but camera playlist, so it doesn't change screens. So here you can see the list of team positions for the City Class Atlanta, so that you know that when you signed up to take part in the Zwift Running League, you signed up to one of 5 different city classes, and all the city classes were based on your speed as a runner. So when you signed up as a particular class of runner, 5 class. And you can also then put yourself in a team, and that team is generally going to be the same class as you are as a runner. So if you're a level 2 runner, a class 2 runner, you will most likely be in Helsinki class, which is the second class of the second city class. Now, it does get a little bit complicated because each team is allowed one runner from a faster class or a faster team. So you might have one runner, as my team has. We have one runner from Atlanta, but we are in Helsinki. If you've got any questions going forward, by the way, do pop them in the chat. I'm watching Facebook chat, I'm watching YouTube chat, and I'm watching Twitch chat. So if you're watching and if you have a question about the Zwift Running League, please do just ask it, and I can view it there on the left and I'll see it in the chat. So when you signed up for one of those classes, one of those city classes, and you entered a team. Now, we seem to have had some issues because if you look here, this is the Atlanta class. By the way, there have been some changes to the leagues, which I'll tell you about in a minute as well. So this is the Atlanta class, and this is the results of Friday's race. Now, you can see here, we only have 3 results. So at the top is the JSPO Tri and Running Team. I know that Johannes is in that team. Johannes, what's his surname now? I can't remember his surname. But anyway, Johannes is in that team. Then we have one of Adam Holland's teams, Noble Pro team. So he's organised a number of Noble Pro teams. And this is Noble Pro Jarvis Bear, who are in second place with 19 points after race 1. So the R1 up there that you can see is race 1, and we're going down the column here. So 20 points for the JSPO team, 19 points for the Jarvis Bear team, and Team Storm have 18 points. But as you can see, after that, no other teams have scored any points. Why that is, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm guessing, well, there's a number of reasons it could be. A, the team didn't run in the first place. B, they didn't have 3 runners in the team. So you have to have 3 runners running. You can have 4 runners running, but you do have to have at least 3 runners running. The 4th runner, in the event of a tie break, then the 4th runner would come into play to decide exactly how many points your team got. So if your 4th runner finished ahead of the other 4th place the other team's 4th place runner, then you would get more points than that other team. So that's the first league, the Atlanta League. Second city class, Helsinki. Let's see what's going on there. So Noble Pro Ibex won that one. They're in the lead of that league at the moment. So Noble Pro got 20 points. Keeping Up with the Kenyans got 19 points. My team, FMR, Film My Run, we were on 18 points. ATP Canasa gets 17 points. Zwift Squad with Lucio and Gabriel, they get 16 points. And CC Team X gets 15 points. Then we've got another 3 Noble Pro teams, all managed by Adam Holland, by the way. So Apatosaurus, Rubber Duck and Condor. So they're all named, all of the Noble Pro teams are named after animals or creatures in Zwift, aren't they? Clearly. So Condor gets 12 points. GTC Vets, 11 points in 10th place. 11th place, Dirty Dashers. And the official Zwift HQ team, ZHQ Rocket Runners, have 9 points. Cora Caminos, 8 points. Noble Pro Seal team, 7 points. Patsy Power Kerno, 6 points. And in 16th position, Crazy Run, but they don't score any points for coming last. And then again, we've got another few teams with no points there. So you see, we've got another team there, Noble Pro Seal or Noble Pro Seal Team. Interesting. Okay. Adam Findel says, go Apatosaurus. Ricky Burrows says, do you have to be in a team as I'm not in any team? Yes, you do. You do have to be in a team to be able to take part in the Zwift Running League. If you're not in a team, you will appear on the Zwift official results on the Zwift Companion app, but you won't appear on any results here on the WTRL League. And I'm not sure, I don't know whether you would appear, you probably would appear on the Zwift Power results as well. Niels Hoffman says, will there be one winning team or each class has one winning team? Okay, well, let me first delve in, before we go and have a look at the results from Munich, Rome and Sydney, let me first tell you about a change. So, as well as, right, let me backtrack, as well as joining class 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 in terms of pace. You also joined a team in terms of a city class, which is Atlanta, Helsinki, Munich, Rome or Sydney. But you also joined a time zone. And the time zones were Europe East, Europe West, America East, America West and Australasia. So those 5 time zones. Now, what was going to happen initially was that WTRL decided there would be different leagues for every time zone. So there would be 6. Would there be 6 leagues in every 5 leagues in every time zone? So you'd have Atlanta, Helsinki, Munich, Rome, and Sydney. 5 different leagues in 5 different time zones. I think that was going to be the case, but they've changed it anyway now. So forget about time zones. The only thing you need to remember about time zones is if you do still have to race in the time zone that you've signed up for. So I have signed up for the Friday evening UK time 7 p.m, which is Europe East, no, Europe West rather. So I've signed up for Europe West. So I need to make sure that I always run in Europe West. But my results will join then with other results from all the other time zones for Helsinki. So all the results for anyone who's running in the Helsinki city class, all those results will be grouped together from every time zone. My wife says, is it too late to sign up? No, it's not too late to sign up. So if you haven't joined a team, you can still sign up, and you can sign up all the way through the series. So there are 6 races. That's over 6 weeks. And if you wanted to, you could sign up with a team on the last week. So you can get yourself a team together. It's not too late. You need minimum of 3 people, maximum of 4 people. You can sign up to a team at any point. So get yourself 3 or 4 runners together and get yourself signed up. You are not too late to join the Zwift Running League. Darren Evans says, come on, Noble Pro Ibex. Grace says, hi guys, listening while commuting. Hello, Grace. Right, so where were we? Okay, we're looking at the results. So yeah, just remember that. There are no separate leagues for the time zones. All time zones are now joined together. So for every city class, they are all linked across all time zones. So Munich class. So in the Munich class, Cryogen Greyhounds got the full 20 points for their win. Speedy Gonzales got 19 points. Cryogen Terriers got 18. 2C Quesaba got 17 points. We Are Ferocious got 16 points. Tugas Agua got 15 points. Oh yes, Munich is the city class rather, that was overtaken by Zwift Spain runners. Zwift España runners dominated this city class with runners from Spain. So that's why you can see a lot of Spanish names here. TFC Harriers got 14 points in 7th place. In 8th place, Fight for Cancer got 13 points. 9th place, ZLDR, not fast, just furious, got 12 points, like the team name. 10th place, Tugas Terra, 11 points. And in 11th place, Comfortably Numb, another ZLDR team with 10 points. Noble Pro T-Rex got 9 points. And APT phosphorylation. Oh, I can't pronounce it. Phosphorylation, is that right? 8 points in 13th place. 7 points in 14th place, ZRG Roadrunners. And 15th place, Noble Pro Manta Ray. They had 0 points, as did Noble Pro Deer, Rochester Triathletes, and Zero. All got 0 points. So again, I'm not sure how that works. And then we have a number of other teams here who didn't get any points at all, either didn't race or didn't have enough members in the team to get any points. So that's Munich. Rome. So Rome is our 4th city class, and the winners of the Rome city class were Noble Pro Blue Whale. They got 20 points. Cryogen Whippets got 19 points in 2nd place, and Victoria's Secret got 18 points. So Victoria, if you want to join Victoria's Secrets, that team has 18 points. I don't know if they've got 4 members or if they've only got 3 members, but you know, you could always ask. The 4 Musketeers of Zwift long distance runners, they came in 4th with 17 points. Noble Pro Dolphin, 16 points in 5th place. Cryogen Dalmatians, 15 points in 6th place, and 7th place was Fear Not, 14 points. Fear Us in 8th position. And Cryogen Pugs in 9th position. 11 points for Fearlets in 10th place, and Noble Pro Hermit Crab got 10 points in 11th place. And again, no points for Tugas Fogo, ATP Glycosis, sorry. 12th place, Frenchy Fusion, and ATP Synthase in 15th position, but no points. And again, lots of teams with no result at all. And finally, City Class Sydney, another win for Noble Pro. Let's just check. So Noble Pro have won Sydney, they've won Rome, they didn't win Munich, they've won Helsinki, but they didn't win Atlanta, but they came 2nd in Atlanta. So well done to the Noble Pro teams. Noble Pro Yeti, 20 points. Noble Pro Squirrel, 19 points. Noble Pro Sloth, 18 points. Honeys, 17 points. Hydrolysis, 16 points. And North and South didn't score any points in 6th place. And then we have, again, 5 runners, 5 teams who didn't score anything. So that's the leagues. But also we have individual runners, of course. Let's go to results here. So you can do this yourself, of course. You can go to the website yourself and have a look. So the winner in Atlanta was Schleidner from Germany, running for the JSPO team. So this is the fastest group. So 4.4 kilometers. Oh, excuse me. 4.4 kilometers. at a pace of 2:54 per kilometre, 2 minutes 54 per kilometre. Schleidler finished in 12:47. Adam Holland for Jarvis Bear, Noble Pro Jarvis Bear was in second. And Martley again. So that's why JSPO won, because they took first, third, and fourth position. And Johannes Grimm, that's it. Johannes Grimm was 10th for that team. So they had 4 runners, and they managed to finish 1, 3, and 4. Okay, and Jojo, who is Johannes from the JSPO team, says, think no points have the team when they aren't signed up correctly or haven't 4 runners. Yes, that's what I think as well. So if you have no points, then you either didn't have three runners. I think you can have 4 runners, but if they didn't have 3 runners, it would be a problem. And also, if they didn't sign up correctly, yes, that may be an issue. Marty Gorman says, if anyone needs a member, I'm back running. Amy Green says, I'm in the Sloths. Grace says, Team Victoria. Oh, right. Okay, so Victoria, you've been invited to join Grace's team, which is very nice of her. Will Roswell says, big up Noble Pro Blue Whale. Nice one. So these are results for the Atlanta League, and we only have 11 finishers in the Atlanta League. 11 finishes in total from all the time zones. As far as I can see, from all the time zones, we only have 11 finishers in the Atlanta City class. Am I right there? Is that right? Surely there were other city, because all those runners there that I can see. So we've got Matt DeFreis, Johannes Grimm, Herbert Krabell, Darden, Spooner, Matt Rees, Rob Davies, Buchholz, Martley, Adam Holland, and Schleidler. Now, they were all in the Friday evening group, so that's interesting. Maybe I've got that wrong then. But I don't think so, because all the runners do seem to be there. Maybe there were no runners in any of the other time zones for the Atlanta group. Interesting. Okay, the Helsinki group. So here we go with Helsinki. This is the team, the city group that I'm running in. Dan Mapp was first for my team. Way! Heimar was second for the Noble Pro team in 13:57. T. Anderson was third for ATP Kinasa in 14:32. Rosenthal, Dirty Dashers, 14:33 for 4.4 kilometres, and Saint Pierre for CC Team X in 14:48 was fifth. Remy Jarige in 6th place for Noble Pro Condor in 14:57, and Luke Melling for Keeping Up with the Kenyans in 15 minutes exactly for 14.4k finished in 7th. Craig Taylor from the ZHQ Rocket Runners finished in 8th position. Now, if you notice down here as well, participant class. So all of the first 7 runners were from Class 1, the running Class 1, so the highest class of running. But they are allowed to be in the second city class because they're in teams who have a majority of participant class number 2 runners, if that makes sense to you. So Craig Taylor is the first of the participant class number 2 runners. He finished in 15:07 in 8th position. Then we have Evans from Noble Pro Ibex in 15:09. Lucio Moretta from Zwift Squad in 15:14. Peter Barlow from Noble Pro Rubber Duck in 15:18. In 12th place, W. Birch, Keeping Up with the Kenyans. Is that Will Birch? In 15:23. Tim Iveson from my team was 13th in 15:33. And Steve Tyler from Noble Pro Apatosaurus in 15:39 was 14th. R. Ralph from Keeping Up with the Kenyans, 15:41 in 15th place. And GTC Vets was 16th in 15:43. Now, a lot of these runners I do know are from other time zones. So that's definitely the case that they are mixing the time zones. So interesting that no other runners were running in the Atlanta City class from any other time zone, which is very interesting. So another Zwift squadder, Dasso Frazee, was 22nd in 16:01. I came 23rd in 16:07. G. Williams, Apatosaurus, Noble Pro Apatosaurus, 24th, 16:08. Correcaminos, 16:12 for Heredia in 25th position. Shall we go all the way down? Let's go all the way down. We've got... where are we? Awang from Kanase, 16:16. Vashon in 27th place. Hurtley in 28th from Zwift Squad. Crombie in 29th from GTC Vets. Jay Bloomer from Noble Pro Rubber Duck in 30th. Barholm, Noble Pro Condor in 31st. Gabrielle from Zwift Squad. Gabrielle Falconer in 32nd place. Clive Finnimore from Patsy Power in 33rd place. Alan Findell from Noble Pro Apatosaurus, who has commented here already. Is it Alan? Bear with me. Oh, Warren Birch it is. Okay, thank you, Grace. Adam Findell from Noble Pro Apatosaurus in 34th place, 16:56 for him. CC Team X is Dumont from Canada, 35th place, and Perry from Dirty Dashes in 36th place. Rob Harrison says, go Keeping Up with the Kenyans team. Jojo says, where can you see which type of races on the following Friday? Jojo, Johannes, it is the team relay on Friday. It's every week it changes. So every week it's either an individual race or a team race. So we've got Perry from Dirty Dashes. We've got Alan Ashford for Noble Pro Rubber Duck in 37th. Simpson, S. Chu, M. Lawrence, P. Lau, Bob De Boer in 42nd place. And then Leah in 43rd and Sean in 44th. Both Zwift HQ, so Zwift members of staff there. Rob Harrison in 45th for Keeping Up with the Kenyans. He's watching. Then we've got two Spanish runners from Correcaminos. And 48th is Ian Matthews, B. Powell from Dirty Dashes, and Jay Fabian in 50th position with 19 minutes 10 seconds. So that's Helsinki. And then we've got the Munich individuals. Korea won it in 15:12 from Portugal, and from Tugaz Terra team. Fight for Cancer team. Libuda from Germany, second place, and We Are Ferocious B. Ward. Becca Ward finished in 18:20 in third place. I think that's Becca Ward in third place. Kay Woodward from Noble Pro Manta Ray, 18:37 in fourth place, and L. Dickens, Comfortably Numb, ZLDR in fifth place. Our weight in Noble Pro Deer team was 6th, and D. Hardy from TFC Harriers in 7th position. Rob Harrison says, I'm on the list but towards the bottom. I think we got you. Did I say Harrison? And Rob Ralph. Dorwood from Not Fast Just Furious in 8th place. Montiero in 9th place, and Kay Dovey from Not Fast Just Furious again in 10th place. Timewell in 11th place from Canada, Ginell in 12th place, and Gillum in 13th place from TFC Harriers. Noble Pro again, CHGZ, I'm not sure how to pronounce that surname, Chung's 14th position, and Jay Santos from Tugaz Agua in 15th place. Coffee from Rochester Triathletes in 16th place. Fight for Cancer again, C. Butler in 17th place. Escal from Argentina from the team We Are Ferocious in 18th. 19th, Letta from Tugas Terra. 20th, Wogan from ZRG Roadrunners. Kuna from Tugas Agua. And Croy from, it's that name again, Phosphorylation Croy in 22nd place. Paul Hayward from Zero team finished in 2014 in 23rd. And we've got Foulstich, Laporte, Thibault, S. Wood, Higginbotham from Noble Pro Deer, B. Vale from Noble Pro T-Rex, and D. Courage from Manta Ray. Steve Main. Is it Steve Main? It might be Steve Main. Fight for Cancer in 31st. Wogan from ZRG Roadrunners in 32nd place. Sao Tome is 33rd. Gutierrez, 34th. C. Taylor, not going to pronounce it again, 35th. Capello is 36th. And Markita from Fight for Cancer in 37th place. So that's all the runners from the Munich team. Let's go to the Rome team. Well done to Foxon, Cryogen Greyhounds. Dode from French Fusion. Roswell from Noble Pro Blue Whale was 3rd. Grace says yes, Steve. Kim Salt says there must be biologists. Yeah, from the photo for... I can't even remember it now. But yeah, they must be biologists. Roswell is in 3rd. Dagan. Jenna Dagan is from the Cryogen Whippets. She finished in 4th place. Well done, Jenna. Perez in 5th place. Dawson from the Greyhounds, Cryogen Greyhounds in 6th. East Steely from Victoria's Secret. There you go. There's your team, Victoria, if you want to be in that team, or from Grace's team. D. Clarkson, Dave Clarkson from Greyhounds. I think is it Dave Clarkson? Cryogen Whippets, Ramirez in 9th place. Baldi from Noble Pro Blue Whale, and Rob Davies. Rob Davies, a different Rob Davies, surely. In 11th place with Noble Pro Dolphin. Another one from Noble Pro Dolphin, Kath Gregory in 12th place, and Armitage from Noble Pro Cryogen Pugs in 12th place. Grace Shin from Victoria's Secret, there she is, in 14th place, and Kath from Noble Pro Blue Whale in 15th place. Alison from Victoria's Secret. Who is that? A. Alison. Grace, who's A. Alison? Blaze in 17th place from the Whippets. Clark from Glycosis in 18th place. Adamson from the Dolphins in 19th place. C. James from the Dalmatians, Cryogen Dalmatians in 20th and 21st place. M. James. Mundisev from Fearlets, and Johnson from Noble Pro Hermit Crabs in 23rd. Who else have we got? Sakushi, W. Lin, E.G. Castro in 28th, J. Miller in 29th, Hager in 30th, SP in 31st, W. Howard in 32nd, Alfonso in 33rd, and Airy, Mike Airy in 34th. So that's the Rome group. And finally, let's just go through the Sydney group. Let's keep everybody happy, go through everybody. Jerdal won it in 15:41. Well done to Jerdal from the Cryogen Terriers. Rivas, Speedy Gonzalez team. So it was Amanda Allison. Thank you, Grace. Kim is happy that they are abbreviated ATP. What, Apatosaurus? No? Caraballo is 3rd placed, and Kevin DeLuca from the Four Musketeers of ZLDR. Well done to him in 4th place. Dollar in 5th, and Toledo Ramos in 6th. Bueno in 7th. N. Lawton in 8th. S. Lee in 9th. Lopez in 10th. Arne from Sweden in 11th. Walters from England in 12th. 2 Spanish runners, Rio and Fier, in 13th and 14th. And 3 British runners, Reeves, Singleton, and Amy Green from Noble Pro Sloths. Well done to them. North and South, Noble Pro Squirrel and Noble Pro Sloths. Amy Green in 17th place. Tellis from Noble Pro Yeti in 18th. We've got Russell and Sati, Ribeiro, Jens Rasmussen in 22nd place. Well done to him. Rogerson in 23rd. Tangen in 24th. Schutt in 25th. 26th was Johnson from Noble Pro Yeti, followed by another Noble Pro Yeti, B. Williams, Scharf, Oskamp, Will Powell, Ferris, and another Ferris runner, Addy Blackmore. Pryor Jones from Cryogen Terriers in 32nd. Harris from the Squirrels in 33rd. Beats in 34th. Airy in 35th. See, there's another M. Airy. Hydrolysis. Jay Moore, also from Hydrolysis, in 36th. And Shayla in 37th from Noble Pro Sloth. So that's all the individual runners. Every individual runner from race 1. And you can put them all together in one massive long list of runners. That will then, you'll see here, as you would expect, the Atlanta runners, the faster runners, are at the top. But then some Helsinki runners are creeping in there. And so you will see that's a list of every runner who took part in all the races across all the time zones on Friday. So those are the results for the first race in the Zwift Running League. We'll try and do this on a regular basis to keep up with what's going on. But what I next want to do is just very quickly, before we finish, if there are any questions, put them in the chat now, by the way, to let you know how it's going to work on Friday. Some people have been asking, I know Adam Holland specifically requested that I say something about what's going to happen on Friday. Now, bear in mind, Adam and myself and obviously the Zwift HQ team and a few other runners, Dan Mapp included, we all took part in a beta event, a test event a few weeks ago. So I have done this once. Now, they have modified it a little bit since I did it, but essentially it remains the same. So the situation is, it's a 6-kilometer race. It will happen across all the time zones, so stay in your time zone. Whatever time zone you ran last week, run it again this coming week. It is a 6-kilometer race, but you personally, you on your own, will only run 2 kilometers. What you must do is find a way to coordinate your run with your fellow teammates. Now, that might be as simple as texting each other, go, or messaging each other on the Zwift platform, go. Or you might want to get a little bit more exact and get yourself on what's called Discord. So Discord is a third-party app that you can download onto your phone, and it means you can talk in real time to people in your team. So you could set up a Discord group and you can chat to them as you're running, as you're coming to the finish. You can say, I'm 10 meters from the end, I'm done, go, and your second runner will go. So basically, all three of you will line up on the start line, the same start line. There will just be one start line for everyone. It is one race. It's not split into 3 separate 2-kilometer races. It's all one 6-kilometer race. You all stand on the same start line. Let me just check the questions. Clara's going back to the beginning to catch up. Adam says, thanks for keeping me distracted during the Zwift long distance runners interval session. You should be concentrating on your interval session. Anyway, okay. But right, let's just step back actually. Let's step back one go. You must sign up for this race using the Zwift, the race pass that WTRL will send to your team manager. So you should know who your team manager is. Your team manager will get an email. They should have it by now. They should have an email by now, and they should have a specific link. And that is the only way that you can sign up for the race on Friday. Do not do it through the Zwift Companion app. Do not do it through the Zwift events page. Do not do it in the game. You have to do it via this coded link that your team manager will send to you. They will receive an email from WTRL. That email will contain the race pass. The race pass will be sent to you and you click on the link. That will automatically join you into the correct race. You will have to be a member of WTRL's website. So if you've not joined WTRL's website, do join it. You just have to sign up like you sign up to any website. So you just put in a username and a password and it signs you up. Once you've signed up, click on the link in the Race Pass link. It will take you to the WTRL website. You then log in at the WTRL website, and that will then automatically take you through to the Zwift website where you sign up for the race. Complicated? It's not complicated at all, honestly. Press the link, go to the WTRL website, log in. It will automatically take you to the Zwift page where you sign up. You click the little plus icon to sign up for the race on Friday. That's how you do it, and that is the only way that you can do it to get a result. So that's dealt with the signing up process. Darren Evans says, is there a trick to warming up without jumping the start? Yes, don't go into the start straight away. So what you do is you log into Zwift on the time of the race, or half an hour before the race begins. Half an hour before the race begins, log into Zwift. Go and run 1-2 kilometers. Do your warm-up in Zwift first. Do not join the run. You know, in the bottom left-hand corner it will say join now. Yeah, don't click that. Do your warm-up first. Then 5 minutes before the race is due to start, click join now to log in to join the race. Or if you want to risk it 1 minute before the race starts, you can do that. 1 minute before race start, click join now and you will be transported to the start line. So do your warm-up before joining the run. There's no... And I understand what you mean, Darren, by the way. If you're the second or third runner, you have to wait on the start line for the other runners, for your first place runner to finish before you get going. And that means you're standing around for a few minutes. There's nothing we can do about that. You can't warm up because if you move, you will cross the start line and that will incur a penalty. So let's just go back a step. You all have joined the race. You signed up correctly and you've come into Zwift just before the race and you've clicked join now. You're all on the start line. The gun will go, or the timer will reach 0, and you will have decided beforehand which runner is going first and second and third, and your fourth place runner. You'll know who your fourth place runner is as well, your fourth runner. So you'll have decided who's going first, second or third. Your fourth runner can stand on the start line just in case there are any technical problems. So if runner number 2 has a technical dropout and cannot run, runner number 4 can go in runner number 2's place. Okay, you understand that? So runner 4 can be on the start line, but they must not run unless runners 1, 2 or 3 have a technical dropout and cannot run. Grace, just make sure you are live on live video. Yeah, that's the other thing I've been doing, is using a Zoom call. So my 2 teammates will come on a Zoom call with me so I can hear them and see them, so we know exactly when they stop running. So runner number 1 starts and goes when it's 0 seconds on the clock. They go. You will be in contact with them. You will be in constant contact with them, and you will be able to see how far they've run. When they get to 2 kilometers, or when they shout, "I've finished, go," then you go. Runner number 2 goes. Runner number 2 runs. Now, runner number 1 will have finished and crossed the line. Now, interestingly enough, when we did the test event, runner number 1 stopped after the finish line, but we couldn't see anyone else running. So we could only see the first runner who'd crossed the line in the other teams and ourselves. We couldn't see runners 2 or 3 back on the course. They've changed that now, so hopefully it will be a public event. So you will be able to see every runner who is on the course. So you will be able to see your second runner running and your third runner still stood on the start line. You should be able to see that on the list on the right-hand side. Runner number 2 goes and does their 2 kilometers. Again, they will shout out on Discord or Zoom or whatever communication device you have decided to use to communicate with your team. Remember, it does need to be pretty instant because it's going to be a race. So they're going to have to go as soon as your other runner finishes. And then runner number 3 goes and they cross the line and they finish, and that is the end. It's simple. The problems are, do not cross the start line before you are supposed to, or you will incur a penalty. Do not try and warm up while runner number 1 or runner number 2 is running, because you will cross the start line, you will incur a penalty. Do your warm up before the entire event starts, and then join the event and don't run again. Just stay still. I hope that your treadmills will stay connected and alive, or your foot pod, because that will be a bit of a nightmare if you do start running and suddenly you've been waiting there 5 minutes and your or 10 minutes even, and your treadmill has disconnected or your Bluetooth is disconnected. Let's hope that doesn't happen to anyone. So I hope that's clear. Does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want to ask me anything before we sign off? Paul Deering says, following them on FanView will allow runner number 2 to know. Following them on FanView will allow runner number 2 to know where to start. Yes, but you will also be able to see on the right hand side the list of names, and you will be able to see runner number 1 and that clocking up the meters, so you should be able to see when they reach 2 kilometers. But also, I can't recommend this highly enough, is to make sure that you have some form of communication. Discord, Zoom, whatever it might be, text messaging if you have to, or messaging in the game. Grace says, so the team who can technically pull this off smoothly can impact their race results. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's not just about being able to run fast, it's about being coordinated. So as long as you can make sure that you have communication, very fast, low latency communication with your other team members, then they will go as soon as they have to, as soon as they can, and you will get a better result. Amy says thank you. If you have 4 runners on stand, Adam says right, I'm not sure. Adam Koffler says clear as mud. Good. Yes. No, you can't get lost. I don't think so anyway. Neil Messenger says, what about 1, 2 and 3? What about if 1, 2 and 3 have technical problems? Well, I hope you heard me say you can have runner number 4. So if you've got 4 people in your team, then you can have runner number 4 standing on the start line. They don't have to run. They shouldn't run unless there is a technical problem with runners 1, 2 and 3. That's all. If you've only got 3 runners in your team, then there's nothing we can do. Any other questions? Who will be first to drop the baton? Oh yeah, well, thankfully we don't have batons. But yeah, there are no batons, thankfully. It would be awesome if they could have made it so that there were batons, so it was like that. But unfortunately, no, there are no batons. You just go when your runner ahead of you finishes. So make sure that you communicate with your team between now and Friday and know who's going to be runner number 1, runner number 2 and runner number 3, and who is your standby 4th runner if you're going to have one. Make sure that you have a means of communication so that you can all talk to each other. And what else do we need to say? Enjoy it, have fun. It's only 2 kilometers. You can go as hard as you like, and it will be lots. It was lots of fun when we did it. So do enjoy it, but just, I know this because it's early in the season. This is season 1. We've only just had race 1. It can be confusing for people to know how to do this, but once we get into the swing of it, once you get into the swing of getting that email, clicking on the race pass, then it will all go swimmingly well. Make sure that all of you have registered with WTRL. You've signed up. You don't need to do anything else other than sign up to the WTRL website, and your team manager does everything else in terms of sending you the link to sign up to the race. Darren Evans, can we get disqualified? Yes, you can. You will be disqualified if you don't have cadence. You must have cadence. Heart rate is optional. You don't have to have heart rate, and you won't be disqualified if you don't have heart rate. But cadence is mandatory. And what else is mandatory? Well, the only other thing that you mustn't do is cross the start line beforehand. So once the race has started, if you're runner 2, 3 or 4, do not cross the start line. I don't know what the penalty will be. If you do, I haven't any information about what that penalty will be, but if you do cross the start line, they have said there will be penalties incurred. So I think that's it. I'll just hang on for 30 more seconds in case anybody else has any questions. Neil Messenger, is it too late to sign up? No. Like I said earlier on, you can sign up right until race 6. So there are 6 weeks of racing. We've had the first week. There are 5 more weeks of racing. You are allowed, because it's season 1, you are allowed to sign up at any point between now and the start of race 6. So if you wanted to, you could get a team together to run race 6. You cannot run this as an individual. You have to be part of a team, or you won't be picked up on the WTRL listings for their results. You will. I did say this earlier on, but I realise there are probably people who are joining now who haven't seen the start of the programme. You will appear if you run as an individual. If you just signed up on the Zwift Companion app, you can run as an individual. You will get a result on the Zwift Companion app. But you won't get a result on WTRL, and running in the Zwift Running League won't get you anything at all. You won't win, you won't have a placing or anything in the Zwift, the WTRL Running League. So there's not really an awful lot of point running on your own. You do really need to be in a team. So for all those teams that didn't get a result, let me just go back again and show you this. Look. Atlanta. Oh, let's do the teams. Sorry, hang on. Let's go to the league. So look at Atlanta here. There are only 3 teams with results. Every other team got 0. So there must be something wrong with either the way you guys have signed up, or something you've done, not having 3 runners in the race on Friday. Whatever it might be. Do try and make sure that you get the technicalities of race registration correct, and you should hopefully get a result this time. Neil Messenger says, okay, I need to find a team, and Adam Holland says, okay, I might be able to help you. So Adam and Neil get in touch with each other and get Neil into a team. Paul Deering says, marginal gains. Whose treadmill is the quickest at acceleration? Yes, very good point, because you cannot. That's another thing that people do, isn't it? At the start of a race, they speed up their treadmill to race pace before the counter reaches 0, and then they're off. That's what I do, but you can't do that with this run. You have to start your treadmill from a standing start at your time to go. So it's only runner 1 that can get their treadmill up to speed. Darren Evans says, I heard it was 20 seconds for jumping the start and disqualified if your 4th runner crosses the start line. Okay, so Darren's heard that if your 4th runner crosses the start line, then you are disqualified, and it's 20 seconds on your time if you jump the start. So there we go. Niels Hoffman, do you have to have cadence? Well, it's in the rules, Niels. If you go and look at the rules, I am fairly sure that you are required to have cadence. FAQs and rules. So, by the way, I said at the beginning, these leagues have now been disbanded. There are no longer any leagues based on time zone. The leagues are simply based on the city class. So every runner who runs in Atlanta and every runner who runs in Helsinki, you will be joined together across all the time zones. So you're all in one league. All of Atlanta are in one league. All of Helsinki are in one league. Let's just see if we can find anything about what you need. Okay, what equipment do I need? Speed and cadence are mandatory. Heart rate is suggested but not required. Okay, how they're going to enforce that, I don't. Well, I guess they can look at every result and see if the runner has cadence. So speed and cadence are obviously speed, or you won't go anywhere. But cadence is also mandatory in the rules. Kim Salt says, I'm slow, it would depress me to run in the racing league. Kim, there are runners of all speeds in the racing league. I promise you, look. Results. Sydney. This is 4.4 kilometres. We have runners running 4.4 kilometres in 33 minutes. Can you run 4.4 kilometres in 33 minutes, Kim? Because that's the speed of some of the runners in the Zwift Running League. And that's no disrespect to anyone, but what it should say is inclusivity. So as many people as possible we want to run in this league. We want it to be a success. We want it to be fun. And we want you to feel like you are able and accepted and valued as a runner in the league. So please do join if you think you can, and if you can find a team, please do join the Zwift Running League. Right, Paul Deering is suggesting that Adam may well be planning a breakaway Super League. Obviously, if he does form a breakaway Super League, then he will be banned from competition in any other Zwift events. And I know the government are strict about these things. They will be holding government talks with the leaders of Zwift and the Zwift Running League to prevent any said breakaway of a so-called Super League. It will not happen. Not on my watch. Okay, right, that's it. We've been on for 50 minutes, guys, so it's time to go. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the Zwift Running League chat. This has been the ZRLC. We'll have another ZRLC maybe next week. We'll see how it went. If you enjoyed it, if you found it useful, please do say so in the comments, and we will see you another time. I'll be back running tomorrow. We'll run something nice and easy tomorrow evening. Like I said, I am tapering for a half marathon on Sunday. So take care, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We'll leave it there, and we'll see you for Friday's 6 kilometre Zwift Running League relay race. Enjoy it all. Take care. Bye-bye.